what's good? Welcome to the My First Time Rave Edition tag.
Boy, hot.
If you are unfamiliar with who I am, my name is Naja. I am 26 years old, living in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area, and I am a newer content creator in this EDM YouTube space. I'm looking to build a community of like-minded people and hopefully meet you guys along the way. I started this channel because I love going to festivals. Music really makes me come alive. I'm a fan of all genres, so that is what this channel is set out to be. Mostly festivals and shows, makeups, fashion surrounding it all, and everything in between. So I would really appreciate it if you subscribe and stay tuned for what I have in store. So as you might know from either following the tag or just looking up these videos, this challenge was created by Becca Grace and BB Howell. So shoutouts to them, their video links will be down below. And this is just to form a togetherness with all the creators on YouTube. So there are 11 questions, and let's get started. The first question is, what is the first DJ you heard of? And my answer would probably be your basic Skrillex, and then Bass Nectar. But really I remember getting changed by Dylan Francis. He came out with this like suit and tie remix, and at an after party one time, a friend played it while he was spinning poi, and it basically like changed my whole mindset around music, and I just like fell in love with EDM, and I started looking everything up on like probably Pandora at this time. It was in 2013, and from there I found Buku and etc., and Bro Safari, and those were kind of like the main niche I stuck to. So a lot of like trap probably, and a little bit of dub here and there. But I wasn't really into techno at the time, wasn't really into drum and bass, and yeah. So the second question is, what was the first show you went to? And I guess I came into the scene kind of backwards because I went to a festival first and then a show. So let's just talk about the festival first. So the festival was Forever Festival, and it was in Detroit in 2013. It was the first EDM event that I ever went to. And it featured, I can put a picture of the lineup, but it featured Calvin Harris, Flux Pavilion, Muzzy, Cookie Monster, Beats Antique, just to name a few. And it was incredible. I had a great time, got lost in the sauce, which will probably end up being a story time at some point. But yeah, it was a great time. And so then, the first show I went to, after going to Forever Festival, I got talked into going to a Nectar show the weekend after. So I went with like the same crew, went down to Grand Rapids. At the time I was living in Big Rapids, which is where I went to school. Go Bulldogs. So we went down to Grand Rapids to the Deltaplex, and yeah, we had a good time there. I dressed way more ravey and felt way more at home, and we just had a good time, and that's probably when all of the shows just started rolling in. I joined like a promo crew so I could get free tickets to shows, and yeah. So that was number 3. So the fourth question is the first people you raved with, and that would be my friend Jesse, who lived in like my hometown, and he's the one that really got me into EDM. He's the one that showed me Martin Garrix when Animals first came out, and so I went with him. Darlene, which was one of his friends but ended up becoming one of my best friends at the time, and then our other friend Wade, who was also from the hometown but he lived in Detroit, so we ended up just staying at his house that weekend, and basically that's how I met all of my Forest fam, because they were all from like the Detroit area. Number 5 is, who was the first friend you met at a rave? And so my first friend would be this guy that I danced with at Nectar. His name is Devin, and to this day, like on my Snapchat and stuff, he's still in my phone as Devin Bass Nectar. Number 6 is your first rave outfit. So I can insert a picture, but it was just these lime green shorts, a black tee, a hat, like a flat bill hat. I had purple extensions in my hair, very muted purple on brown, but that, and then these really colorful shoes from the brand Pastry. And yeah, very simple, but definitely stepped it up for the shows after that. Number 7 is your first outfit malfunction. So honestly, I couldn't really think of that many. There was this time during Electric Forest in 2016 that Mother Nature decided to pay me a little visit when I really wasn't expecting it. So had to go and change real quick and shower and all that jazz, but we survived. You know, you always come prepared even when you're not planning on things. Always be prepared because your neighbors might need your help. So yeah, but very, very minor because that's what you get when you're a woman. Number 8 is your first light show. And so my first light show happened at an after party. I used to work at this club, and all the girls and I decided like we still wanted to hang out after work even though it was like 2 in the morning. So we drove down to like hang out with an acquaintance, a mutual friend, whatever. We went down to their basement, and I kid you not, it was like Willy Wonka's playhouse. It was so colorful. The walls were like painted like gobstoppers. Some of the walls were furry. The carpet was like the comfiest carpet I had ever walked on. The lights were in the room were like changing, and it was incredible. All set up just to watch flow artists. So that's the first time I saw like hoopers and found out what poi was. And yeah. And then after that I remember like going to a show and seeing a whip for my first time. Still 2013 era. So the brand that was out at the time was Ants on a Melon, which is my first whip that I ever got because of that moment. Number 9 is the first set you cried at. So this was probably Mad Decent Block Party 2014. And so when I tell you the set that I cried at, I don't think it was necessarily the set that made me cry, but it was just like the moment that we were all having. So Mad Decent Block Party, it was set up like seats under the pavilion for an extra cost, or just like the land, like field seats or whatever. So most of our friends had the lawn seats, but some of them had the pavilion seats, and I don't know who figured out how we could finesse, but we just started like trading tickets back and forth to get like scanned in down. So basically our whole group snuck down into the pavilion, and so Diplo came on, and we were all just like raging and twerking and having a good time. It was smiles everywhere. And then the set was like coming towards an end. He played Revolution, but it was like a slowed down version, and the whole crowd is just singing the lyrics to Revolution, and this like, it just felt deeper than what it really was at the time. And I just remember looking at all my friends and just being so happy that we all like could get down to the pavilion and all just be together. And yeah, I teared up. It wasn't like a bawling thing, but definitely a couple tears came down. Number 10 is the first candy trade. So this was Hardwell, probably 2014. And prior to this, I made a bunch of candy, but no one had ever like plurred me up. And then this guy came up to us, and he stuck out his peace sign, and I was like, yes, I've been waiting for this moment. And so we did the whole handshake, and he gave me a little red and blue candy, and it said I love raves on it. Well, not really I love raves, it said I heart raves. But yeah, I really don't know if I still have that candy, because one year at Electric Forest, all my candy like dumped out. I gave some to my friends so they could have some to pass out, and basically all my beginning candy that I had collected disappeared. But that's okay, because we have new ones and it's fine. So the final question, number 11, is the first moment you fell in love with the culture. So that would probably be Bass Nectar at the Deltaplex in 2013. That's really when I found out like what the scene meant. So because it was my second show, I wasn't expecting the bass to be as like heavy and deep as it was, and my ears popped. And I was telling my friend Darlene, I was like, I can't hear anything, I can't hear anything. And she goes, swallow. And as soon as I did that, it was like everything became clear, everything made sense, the lights looked amazing, the sound sounded amazing, everyone was just having a good time, the vibes were on point, and I never looked back. I have decided to tag Rave Raider and Karaoke. Their links for their channels will be down below. They're also content creators in the EDM space, and looking forward to seeing their videos. So thank you for tuning in with me today. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel to stay in touch with me, and have a good one.